Welcome back to another Tech Core Duo video, and today I'd like to talk about Windows 10. I know that's a little out of the ordinary for me since I mainly do Mac and iOS videos, but I ran into an issue with one of my customers recently where they forgot their password to log into Windows 10. And it wasn't a Windows Live account where you could, reset it using Windows Live. It was a standard administrator account. They had no clue what the password was. Apparently, the computer hasn't gone to sleep in like 2 years, and so they forgot their password. They couldn't log in. So you will need two things. One being a flash drive to install a piece of information on, and the second being an install CD. It can be either an install CD or a second USB drive, kind of like this one, that you can install Windows install media on it. And that's absolutely necessary for this kind of method. Get yourself a flash drive, okay, and you connect it to any other computer. Okay, and I'm going to upload a file for you guys that you can download directly. It's just the command prompt. I'm going to plug it into my computer here. It has to be formatted in FAT32, so that's an important part of it. It can also probably be NTFS. Just make sure that it's not a Mac formatted drive because Windows will not read it. Okay, so I named it Q. I'm going to rename this. You can name this whatever you want. It's irrelevant. The drive letter that I have here, Q, isn't actually what the drive will be inside of Windows. So we're going to name this pass reset. Okay, that's just the name of my drive. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to move this stuff here. So I don't actually need that. I'm going to move this to the trash. Okay, and then once you have your pass reset opened, there's going to be a cmd.exe file. Okay, and this cmd.exe file, you're going to rename it to utilman.exe. Okay, now the reason we're doing this is so that we can trick Windows into thinking that this is actually the accessibility utility. So if you look at the bottom right here at the login window, if you don't know your password, it's going to tell you it's incorrect, but you do have the option of these few things here, like a network thing, a shutdown, and ease of access or accessibility. So you can click on that, and you get these options. Okay, and what we're going to do is trick Windows into thinking that this isn't actually this. We're going to make it open up a command prompt window where we can make it do essentially whatever we want. Kind of like a terminal if you look at Mac world. Okay, so now that we have that file copied into our flash drive, okay, you're going to want to plug that into your PC. Okay, and once you have that file copied into your flash drive, you want it at the top of the directory. You don't want to have anything else on the flash drive, so delete any items that you have in that flash drive, and just have it strictly, just this one file here. And I'm just going to go here. Also, you want to make sure that it is formatted as MS-DOS FAT32. You might want to look up another video on how to do that. All right, and we'll close this. Then the second thing you're going to want to do is take your Windows CD, Windows 10 install CD, and place that inside your computer. Or if you don't have a Windows 10 install CD, you can use your a second USB flash drive. It's like where you're going to get all these flash drives from. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back into view. Let's go into full screen mode for now. Switch. We'll go into full screen mode. I'm going to go up here, devices. Okay. And I'm also going to go into optical drives. Alright, that's good. Make sure that's connected. And I'm going to hit restart. Okay, and that's what you want to do now. Once you have the flash drive in and your installed media, whether it be a CD or a USB drive, you want to reboot the computer. All right, excellent. So once you have booted to your CD or USB install media, you will see that you'll get this window here. Okay, and then what you want to do is hit next. You have an option. You can either hit Shift F10 on the keyboard, or you can just hit next and then hit repair computer. It'll get you to the same place. And we're going to hit troubleshoot, advanced options, and then command prompt. All right, so once we have our command prompt open here, what we want to do is go into figuring out what drive letter is our Windows operating system on. So I'm going to start off, let's try drive C, see if Windows is installed on there. So what we're going to do is type C, hit colon, and hit return, and then type dir, and it'll give us a list of all the files. As you can see, C does not have that. Now don't confuse this with the C that you see when you're navigating your file system on your computer. It's a different kind of C. Now let's try drive D, for instance. Return. And now dir. Alright, so it looks like drive D, and this is good that we figured this out. Drive D is actually our flash drive that has the utilman.exe file, which is the incognito kind of CMD or command prompt file. So we know that's good. Let's try drive E. And dir. Perfect. All right, so this, now we know drive E is where our Windows is, and drive D is where the flash drive is with the utilman.exe file. Now, another way to do this is by typing disk. See, if you have more than like 3 or 4 drives, it's kind of can get a little confusing. So what you want to do is type disk part. Now bring up kind of like a disk utility in Windows. All right, and then we're going to type list volume. All right, and here we can see that drive D is our FAT32 formatted 14 gigabyte flash drive, which is perfect, and we know it's removable. And then drive E is our NTFS partition, which is 127 gigs. That's our internal hard drive where our Windows operating system is on. All right, but since we already know that information, I'm going to exit. But it is important to note which drive letter is for your hard drive and which drive letter is for your flash drive. Okay, now I am in, the directory I'm in is E, okay, at the root of the drive. And what we're going to want to do now is change directory, which is CD, Windows. That means now we're in the Windows folder. We're going to do CD one more time, and we're going to type system32. Excellent. Now we are in our main drive within the Windows folder, within the System32 folder. And at this point, we're going to want to rename 2 files. Okay, and what we're going to type is ren cmd.exe to cmdold.exe. Okay. We didn't get any errors, so we know that task completed successfully. And we're going to do this one more time. REN for rename, utilman.exe space utilmanold.exe. Okay, now this is changing the utility manager kind of file into another name. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to copy a file from our flash drive into this same folder, and we don't want to have any conflicts. Now let's hit return again. Excellent, so we know that worked. Okay, at this point, what we're going to do is copy, okay, from drive D, okay, our utilman.exe file to E /Windows/system32. And now this will copy the file from our flash drive into this directory. And now let's hit return. Oops, I actually forgot to spell out copy here. Don't forget to do that like I just did. Make sure you write out copy first so that the command prompt knows what function to perform. All right, so we're copying from drive D utilman.exe into E Windows System 32 and return. The syntax of the command is incorrect. What did we type wrong here? What did we type wrong here? All right. Maybe because we're in this directory. Let's get out of this directory. Oh, I see what I did there. Also, my bad. One more time. Instead of placing backslashes, I made forward slashes. We need backslashes for this. Backslash. So it's D:\\backslash, not forward slash. Honest mistake. I'm only human. Or at least I hope I am. E:\\backslash Windows backslash System 32. All right, let's try that again. Okay, one file copied. Excellent. So the kind of chunk of the work is done. Okay, now we're going to exit. And we're going to exit and continue to Windows 10. Alrighty. Now we're going to let Windows start up without going into the CD drive. The CD drive at this point will not be necessary any longer. All right, now if we click to log in and we click on the ease of access, as you can see, the command prompt opens. Instead of having that kind of accessibility feature, we're in the command prompt now. So we're technically in the computer at this point. And from here, all you need to do is type control, user passwords, the number 2, and hit return. There we go. Now all you have to do is click on the user that you want to change the password for, click reset password, and then we're going to type a new password. I'm just going to write Windows, and one more time, Windows. Hit OK. OK. And now we can close out of this here. And let's try to type again, Windows. Windows. Boom. Just like that, we reset the password. So even though you do need, a handful of tools like a hard drive and an external hard drive or a flash drive, and an installation CD, it's still doable. You don't have to lose your data or erase your account or do anything, kind of, extraordinary to get, access to your account again. There was so much confusion in kind of what the best practice is for this process, but essentially, finally got down to the best method. Now you're back in, you got all your cat pictures here, you have all your folders, all your data. The last thing to do is to change permissions on the files that we adjusted. Because if you remember, we renamed CMD into CMD old, and we named utilman into utilman.old. So we need to go back in there and make sure that we, bring those file names back into their appropriate names. And this is my cat tags here for the day. Let's close this out and let's go ahead and change those file names just to complete this and do it the right way. Okay. All right, and we're going to go into this PC. Then we're going to go down to C. Let's give it a second to load. Since this is a virtual machine, it's a little bit slow. It doesn't have too many resources, but nonetheless, it gets the job done. Okay, now that we're in here, Come on, Windows, don't fail me now. You did so good. I feel like Donald Trump saying that. So good. You did so good. All right, now we're going to go into the Windows folder. All right. And from the Windows folder, we're going to go into System 32. Sounds like Windows is having some trouble here. We're going to go into Properties. Okay, then we're going to go into Security. And then from Security, we're going to go into Advanced. And we're going to change the owner of this file. The reason we're doing this is because the file actually can't, how do I put this? Oh, wait a minute. Too far in. Sorry, System 32, got to open that first. I need to actually open the folder up first. Jumping ahead of myself here. Okay, now that we're in here, we want to type CMD. This is just to bring us up. So you see how it says CMD old here? We want to rename this back to its original name, which is just cmd.exe, because we renamed this in the command prompt. We're going to right click on it, or control click, or right click, whatever you want to call it. Okay, then we're going to go into Properties. Okay, from Properties, we're going to go into Security, and then into Advanced. Okay, and then from Advanced, we're going to go into Owner, and then we're going to change who the owner is. All right, and then we're going to go into Advanced in this window. We're going to click on Find Now. Okay, and then just scroll all the way down to the bottom to where you see Users. Click OK. OK again. All right, so now the user, the owner of this is Users. All right, we're going to hit Apply, and we're going to hit OK. All right, now we're going to do, click on Users here. We're going to click on Edit. We're going to change our permissions. Because currently we don't have all access. So now we're going to click on Users here, and we're going to do Full Control. Apply. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's see if we can rename it. cmd.exe. Continue. And it looks like we're good. So it allowed us to rename cmd.exe. Now we're going to repeat this same process for the util manager, or utiliman, and we're going to change it from the old to the standard name. So uti, okay. And then, oops. Again, okay. So there's also this utilman one. That's the one we actually copied in from our flash drive. We can go ahead and just drag that one to the trash. Alrighty. Excellent. Now let's see if we can just rename this one without doing anything else, or is it not going to give us permission? Most likely not. We're not going to have permission to rename it, but let's try anyway, just for argument's sake. All right, so let's say if I wanted it just to be, all right, continue. Oh, and what do you know? We had permission to change that file. Excellent. All right, I guess we lucked out on that one. If you do run into a permission problem where you can't change that, follow the same steps in granting permissions to edit the name of this file like we did for CMD. All right, and that sums it up. That's how to change your password on Windows 10 if you've forgotten it. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.